Hi, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips for mastering keyframes in Adobe Premiere Pro. So whenever you're working with clips on the timeline, if you ever click on the clip and look over in the effects control panel, you can see all of the different video motion effects, or if you ever add actual effects from the effects panel, such as, I don't know, anything like a blur or something like that, you'll also see those effects pop up in the effects control panel. And beside each parameter that you can adjust, you always have this little stopwatch icon, which is to toggle animation keyframes. So for example, if I was to toggle this icon on, you'll see this little diamond appear in our keyframe menu here. And this keyframe is a way that we can animate from one parameter to the next instead of just keeping it at a normal constant parameter when it's turned off. So for example, if I move this keyframe over to the start of the clip, and then at this point of the clip, I set it back down to 0, what you'll see end up happening is between this keyframe and this keyframe will gradually go from 124 all the way to 0 blur. And in this way, we've created an animation that goes from blur to focus. So as you saw, whenever we have the keyframe turned on, we can move and manipulate these keyframes, and if we ever adjust a value, you'll automatically see a new keyframe pop up. So one useful way to do this is either just have your timeline on a certain point, and let's say you set it to a certain value, instead of always having to move over to where you want to set the next keyframe, which you can do, you can also just set keyframes and then move them like to the start of the clip. I can highlight and delete. I can move and rearrange, and in this way we don't always have to be moving the timeline. We can just simply move the keyframes, but either way works. Another tip is if you're ever working between lots of keyframes and you want to take your timeline exactly to this one and not have to figure it out, you can just simply click on this go to next keyframe or previous keyframe button, and that's a really useful way to jump between keyframes, and then you can adjust the value. You can see that it's highlighted blue. That means you're on the keyframe and you can adjust the value again. Or if you click, you can remove that keyframe. Or if you ever click this button, you can also add keyframes. So you can add keyframes at certain points with this button. You can also choose to reset to the original parameters with this button. So this, especially if you're working with scale or position, if you ever just click these two buttons, reset parameter, it'll reset you back to your original parameters. So I'm going to actually work on a black video layer, and I'm going to grab my circle effect just to show you some more tips following up. So if I just go to the generate circle effect, I'm going to demonstrate the different types of keyframes. So in this case, let's add a keyframe onto the position of this clip. So right now, if we toggle that keyframe icon on, it'll add this diamond onto this center position, or I can just move it like to the left. Then if I move a little bit forward and move that X position over to the right a little bit, you'll see that from this keyframe to this keyframe, when I press play, we get that circle moving from left to right point. Now, the default keyframe is just the diamond linear keyframe. But if you ever right click it and go to the interpolation settings, you can always choose to change it from linear to different types of Bezier or hold or ease in and ease out. And you'll notice how the motion of them changes. So for example, if I did ease out, you'll now notice that it's going to spend a little bit more time at this position and then slowly ease out of it. So it slowly ramps up in speed. And that brings us into another tip, which is if you drop down any of these parameters, you can actually visually see the chart of the speed happening. So this is what ease out looks like. It slowly gets faster. And this is what linear looked like. It's just a straight line from this point to that point. So not only can you set different keyframes like ease in and ease out, but you can actually also pull on this velocity tab, and you can make kind of like your own changes in motion. So in this case, it's going to slowly go all the way up until it just ramps up because I pulled the velocity forward like that. So you see it slowly goes and then it just slams into place. And that can be really useful for animating when you don't just want the linear motion. If I pull the other side forward too, what you'll see happen is it'll go really slow and fast in the middle and then slow back down into the other spot. So If I play that, you'll see how it kind of just like jets over there. These are called Bezier keyframes. They have their different amounts that they ramp into each other, such as that. And another keyframe that we have is hold. So if I change this to hold keyframe, then what this does is it will hold this certain position all the way until it hits the next keyframe. So in this case, there won't be any smooth motion in between or any interpolation as it's called. It'll just stay at this keyframe held until the next keyframe hits. So this can be useful when you don't want a gradual movement. You do just want one position to the next. Now, again, if I ever want to turn off keyframes or delete them all, I can highlight, delete any of them, or I can simply just turn off the animation so that I can't put any keyframes on there. However, another cool way that you can adjust keyframes is if you're working on your track and you increase the size of that track a little bit, you should be able to see this little line pop up, and this is called Show Clip Keyframes. So if I ever right click on this and go to Show Clip Keyframes, I can choose what to see on this line. So right now, by default, it's set to opacity, but I can choose any one of those parameters to be this line. So let's just say I do leave it at opacity. If I have my selection tool highlighted, I can just drag the whole line up and down, and that will adjust the entire opacity parameter, but there's no keyframes on it. Or if I press Command, I'll see this little plus icon show up, and I can press plus, and it'll add a keyframe at that point, and I can now adjust one or more parts of the clip. So if I had 2 keyframes, I can make it go from 0 to 100% opacity, and what you'll see is it'll fade in through that line. So this is the same thing as if we just would have added 2 keyframes, but sometimes it can be nice to work in this way because you can see the actual graph and you can see what's going on in your timeline. And this can actually be really cool for time and speed ramping. So for speed ramping, this timer mapping, it can be cool to be able to do it in this way because you can visually see what happens and the clip gets shorter. Additionally, if you're ever working with keyframes, and let's say I have this thing where I make it go up and then back down and back up, and I kind of want to repeat that a couple times, you can always copy and paste any set of keyframes just the same way you do anything, Command C and then Command V, and you can paste over multiple batches of keyframes. So in this way I can create this repeated pattern without having to do every single keyframe, and I can move around and manipulate those. And if you ever like a certain combination of effects that you've done, you can right click and save things as presets, and it'll either scale the keyframes to whatever the new size of your clip is, or make them begin at the in point or out point of your clip. So I have a whole separate video about saving presets, and if you like, I have my own presets available on my website for sale if you just want to check out a bunch of effects as a side note. And you can always see and save and load your presets that you created inside of your effects control panel, and then put them and just drag them on your clip, and you'll see they'll automatically add all of your effects and keyframes that you did. So again, if I ever want to just highlight everything, remove attributes, remove everything, I can do that and go back to normal. But that's a little introduction on how to use keyframes to make animation, and 5 or so different tips on using them. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out some of my other videos on presets and keyframes and animations and effects, and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so you stay tuned for all of my new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.